Salem to be find the best set of tax breaks we can to be the cheapest date. And a much better exercise to figure out what can we do best, where are comparative advantages, how can we invest in our people and grow an economy from here. And the old anonymous quote is, in the battle between the hunters and farmers in the long term, the farmers always win. Right, and in fact, I'm on sort of a kick on this because I just did a bill to bring to Oregon so it's called, the name for it is economic gardening, but essentially it is homegrown economic development strategies. And this to me is the big challenge. And if you look at how power is applied in Salem or Washington D.C., and I can speak with very direct experience in the Salem capital and state government, most of the people who come to see me or other legislators are there to advocate on behalf of particular financial self-interest. Right? Almost always a relatively narrow policy interest, but generally that means a particular financial self-interest. And that to me is the biggest structural defect in our democracy. Because most of the problems that we want to solve, or most of the opportunities we want to grab, are not answered by the sum of the self-interest. If you look at some of the big things in the public debate right now, well, healthcare is in the debate right now. There's no clear and obvious market advantage in fundamentally changing how we spend healthcare dollars. Even though but in the 1970s we were early 70s we were about 6% of a gross domestic product on healthcare. Now we're about 15-16% with no decline in sight and no significant change in how we pay for it. And whose job in a market sense is to change that structure? It is not in anybody's obvious market advantage to redesign our education system. Even though we recognize that we've learned lots about how to learn, we've learned lots about the calendar, we've learned lots about how to communicate over the last 100 years, the economy has changed, etc. Whose job is that? Maybe. Energy policy, right? Whose job is it to redesign energy policy? ExxonMobil's, maybe. I know that they bring a lot of power to bear on the conversation. So the biggest and most challenging jobs that face the public, most exciting, inspiring, or daunting, are nobody's job, which is why they have to be all of our jobs. Which is why, to me, the solution to the biggest structural defect is a combination of rule changes, can be financial reform, whatever, plus the growth in public interest power, in collections of people who say, I don't know if we're going to win or lose, but we'll win sometimes, and it's worth it, and we like one another, and what the hell else are we going to do? And let's, have at it. And the collections of those pods of people are, to me, democracy's hope. To me, that's, if what's right with us is enough to cure what's wrong with us, it's that.